serving God doesn't happen by accident. It happens by choice, daily, not emotionally. Hi, friends. How do you know what the Old Testament really means? In this series, I am showing you how the New and Old Covenants fit together like a divine puzzle, each piece showing Jesus, his character, and his covenant with us. Today, we're looking at Joshua chapters 22 to 24. In 22, 7, and 8, Moses had given the land of Bashan, east of the Jordan River, to the half-tribe of Manasseh. The other half-tribe was given the land west of the Jordan. As Joshua sent them away and blessed them, he said, "Go back to your homes with the great wealth you have taken from your enemies, the vast herds of livestock, the silver, gold, bronze, and iron, and the large supply of clothing. Share the plunder with your relatives." But verses 10 to 12 turn sideways for a minute. It says, while they were still in Canaan and when they came to a place called Giloth near the Jordan River, the men of Reuben, Gad, and the half-tribe stopped to build a large and imposing altar. The rest of Israel heard that the people of Reuben, Gad, and the half-tribe of Manasseh had built an altar on the west side of the Jordan River. So the whole community of Israel gathered at Shiloh and prepared to go to war against them. This book ends with God's people doing exactly what God's people should be doing in a variety of situations, remembering all that God had done for them. They were so quick to respond to what was potentially a serious crime by the Transjordan tribes, angry on behalf of God and reminding them of instances of turning away from God that Israel had done in decades past. But thankfully, those tribes were not turning away from God, having built the altar as a witness, not as a place to sacrifice. I love how the eastern tribes were so outraged, they were even willing to redivide up the land if the western tribes thought that they were too far away from the place of worship. What a sacrifice! These tribes had asked Joshua if they could stay on the east side of the Jordan River. They liked that land for their livelihood, but it wasn't God's original plan. There's always a reason for the instructions that God gives, and even if he allows you to do something else, it may not work as well as if you had did it his way to begin with. A situation is presented here that would never have happened if all the tribes were together on the west side of the Jordan. Family conflict is created and it threatens their unity as a people of God. When we think about it hypothetically, probably all of us would say that God's ideas are the best ideas. He knows what he's doing when he gives us instructions, and he always does what is best for us. In practice, though, we humans have a tendency to question God's plan and opt for our own. My encouragement is to take a few moments to meditate on the idea that God's ways are the best ways. He is the author and the finisher. He knows the beginning from the end. Make a committed decision to follow God's instructions, even if you think you see a better option. However, the mainland Israelite tribes were not the only ones who sacrificed for the good of the whole. The western tribes were released by Joshua to go back home after decades of being away from their families to fulfill their commitment to God and the eastern tribes. This had to have been an extraordinarily difficult thing to do, but their reward was great. And in the end, all Israel had their land. And in the end, all Israel had chosen God as their God and were serving him. The link is in Romans 12:16. Live in harmony with each other. Don't be too proud to enjoy the company of ordinary people, and don't think you know it all. Joshua 24:14-15 says, so fear the Lord and serve him wholeheartedly. Put away forever your idols that your ancestors worshiped when they lived beyond the Euphrates River and in Egypt. Serve the Lord alone. But if you refuse to serve the Lord, then choose today whom you will serve. Would you prefer the gods your ancestors served beyond the Euphrates? Or will it be the God of the Amorites in whose land you now live? But as for me and my family, we will serve the Lord. Serving the Lord doesn't happen by accident. In this chapter, Israel is renewing their covenant once again. Is it too often? No. Jesus told his followers to pick up their cross daily. Obviously, frequent recommitment needs attention. Serving the Lord is meant to be a lifestyle. It's not a feeling because feelings can change. Commitment to God takes the force of your will. It's also a pleasure because the Lord's burden is easy and light. Serving the Lord means you forget about yourself. All that concerns you, you give it to him. While you take care of his business, he takes care of yours. Keep short accounts with God and strive to work in righteousness. You have to commit wholeheartedly, not with one foot in and one foot out. Remember, serving the Lord is your choice. No one can make you do it or stop you from doing it. The link is in Luke 9:23. Then he said to the crowd, if any of you wants to be my follower, you must give up your selfish ways. Take up your cross daily and follow me. That's all for today. I hope you've enjoyed the book of Joshua as much as I have. I've put some extra scriptures for you in the description of this video if you want to do a deeper dive. I'll be praying for you to receive a deeper revelation from God about your covenant with him. Have a blessed